Hi, it's Jennifer Hollick, the Global Coordinator of the World War II Research and Writing Center. I am sitting in Borchardt, Luxembourg. It's a gorgeous day. There's a castle on the ridge, and I have finished the book The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I've put up a couple videos about this already, some of the things that she talks about, and there's a lot in my head and on my heart about things that came up in this book. And it is fiction, but it is about some French women who helped with the resistance during the war, and she based it off of some actual people. But one of the things that I've been talking about in these other videos is about judgment and how we judge ourselves or how we judge the people in our family for things they did in the past, but yet we don't always look at those 100 different choices that came up before they made the one that we're judging them for. And moving on with choices near the end of the story, Vianne, who is one of the women, and Isabelle is her sister, and their father Julian, those are three of the primary characters in this story. Vianne talks about her father's pulling away from the family after he came back from the Great War and how it broke the family, and it was his choice. He felt broken, he had been damaged by the war, and it was his choice. Through World War II, he realized that might not have been the best choice that he ever made. And in the book, there's a paragraph that says, "What a burden such a choice must be. For the first time, she saw her own childhood as an adult, from far away with the wisdom this war had given her. Battle had broken her father. She'd always known that. Her mama had said it repeatedly, but now Vianne understood. It had broken him." He had said to his daughters, "You girls will be part of the generation that goes on and that remembers. The memories of what happened will be hard to forget. And you need to stay together and love each other," basically. And that brings me back to choices and how we look at our families and even how we look at ourselves. You know, we might have made one choice early in life. Maybe that took us away from family. Maybe it brought us closer. And then when it comes to the end of our lives, or maybe even a traumatic event that happens, it could be an illness, or somebody else in the family dies, or there's somebody that moves away, that just anything that could be cause something traumatic. You know, there could be a separation between that person and the family. And once that's done, what happens? And what are the choices that are made? And how does that affect us? And how did that affect them? And how does that affect how we perceive them? Or how we perceive ourselves? So again, I encourage you to look at your family stories and think about the choices and look at the different choices that you're aware of that family members made as they move through their lives. And think about how that affected how they raised their families, how they lived their lives, how you were brought up, the things that you believe, and consider adding that into the stories that you're writing. So if you're interested in a really good book, I did finish The Nightingale this afternoon, sitting out here in Luxembourg. Oh my gosh. And it made me cry, and it's given me a lot to think about. And I think I'll be doing quite a bit of journaling about several different passages in this book, about how I can see them in my life, how I see them in people I work with, who I talk to. So if you are looking for a really good read, something that you might not be able to put down, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna is definitely one I would recommend. I think it may even change your life. So thank you for listening. I hope it was a contribution to you. And if you're writing your stories and using any of these tips that I give, I'd love to hear from you and how it's changing your perspective and how it's changing your life. And if you're interested in any online writing classes, we do have one at worldwar2education.com. And there will be an extensive one coming later this year that will also include a writing group and a lot of other things. So hope to hear from you and about what you're writing and how this may have helped you. Thanks.